Alright, back in on the slabby, do a bit. I'll show you what's been going on since my last video. So I'm just going to stick with the original one, and I gave it a bit of a clean up and treated it to a coat of enamel paint on my hoses and just on the outer parts of the radiator. The bits that you're going to kind of look at, and it finishes quite nice, that enamel. It smooths off, it's a bit like a gloss. Yeah, once you paint it on, it dries off quite smooth. You don't want to go over it again because it must release its solvent and start getting sticky. So you gob it on there reasonably well, and then it dries smooth. What else has happened? I'll put my blue rocker cover back on. I had to I resprayed that one, and used some of that enamel painting on the button screws and a couple of other bits there, just attempting to tidy up these areas. But now I'm going to address these broken fins that I've got. Quite annoyingly, there's another one on the other side, but I've turned the light off over there so it doesn't strobe the camera. And I thought, oh, how am I going to do this? I've seen people JB weld and sort of construct it, and I thought, how do they do that with the JB weld? Surely it's just going to, you know, like run off or just droop. And then, of course, I realised there's a JB weld or metal epoxy putty, steel reinforced. And I have seen somebody do something similar with that. And that's what we're going to have a go at. So apparently what you do is you chop a bit off, stick it in your mouth, chew it like chewing gum until it starts to pull your fillings out, and then it's ready. I've cleaned up the area, I've given it a wire brushing and that, blown it all out. And I've got 3 fins on top of each other there, so I think what's probably going to happen is I'm going to have to do 1 fin at a time and let it go off, because I'm never going to be able to get, unless I stick one big splurge in there and then literally shape it with the die grinder. I don't know. What I'll probably try and do first is do each fin at a time, and while the other fin isn't there, maybe I'll be able to sand the top of the first one, and then once, you know, while the other one's not in the way, and then do the next one, and then do the next one. But what I am going to do is just take a cheapo screwdriver for a minute, and I'm just gonna tap some sort of teeth marks into this edge to give it a bit more to key into. So let's do that for a bit. The hell is that? Now I don't know if this is going to work. I just don't know. So yeah, when you get that stuff, it's obviously a roll inside of a roll. And then you're going to mix it together until it's all one colour. A bit like some blue tack. And they reckons you've got about 10 minutes to get it in, and then it will go kind of hard, and then it's fully set after an hour. This is already not what I'm thinking was going to happen. Well, I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but this is already a ball ache. What else have I got here? Yeah, it's just going to stick to that. I'll try to remove it. Well, I can see already is I'm not going to be able to kind of, you know, with it being a putty, I was hoping to sort of make a shape and get it stuck in there, but he's getting a bit stiffer. I'm going to end up just gobbing it in there and then just grinding away what I don't want anymore. In fact, that's what I'm going to do, because that's driving me mad. So, a big blob and just stuff it in there, and then I've got a little mini die grinder, perfect for those fins. And I'll just grind it out. So let's have a decent chunk here. It says in the instructions, wear gloves. But man, if you was wearing any kind of glove with this, it would be just a pain in the ass. Yeah, I think this is probably the better way. I mean, I can get the top and bottom, something like it. Yeah, leave it alone. Right, we're going to leave it at that for a minute. I'll have a tinker with, well, I'll clean my hands first and then I'll come back to it. Right, what we got? That's gone off now. It's about an hour later. Yeah. So we'll attack it with the sandpaper and see how it goes. I suppose we'll just get this front face flat, I guess. Try not to get crap all over it straight away, shall we? All right. Yeah, she's hard enough. I think we're going to be here for a minute or two and I should get comfortable, I think. Jesus Christ. Hey, what the hell? Well, that gives us a bit of a head start on it. I'll tell you what I noticed when you start using something like that, little die grinder thing, I don't know if you can pick that up, but these are just cheapo ones because it's not the hardest material. Once you start getting some rotational sort of friction heat in there, it does kind of turn a bit fluffy, or it feels like it does. And that's not just the fluff you picked up when you pick your rag up. So I was trying to go gentle with not sort of pushing too hard to get rid of material, because, you know, although it is metal epoxy and it's got metal filings in it, it is not metal, it is an epoxy, so it's a glue, so it, you know, it can get hot and sort of melt if you like. So just gently giving myself a head start there. Some grooves to work with basically, so that then I can go back in with the sandpaper and do it a bit more gentle. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here now and just tickle away at that for another hour this evening, and then right, we're on the next day now, and I'll show you these fins and how we got on yesterday. So here we are, trying to get a decent shot of it. Got them pretty much shaped up. There's a little bit more to be done, just to tie it in a little bit better on the edges. But I noticed yesterday as I was doing it, well, there's not really movement, but it just wasn't quite as hard as I trusted to sort of get in there. I thought, right, well, we've done pretty good so far, so we'll leave it at that, and then come back tomorrow with some gentler sandpaper and just feather that in a little bit more. So yeah, quite chuffed with that. It didn't I didn't embarrass myself with it, so the results are pretty good. Something I'm sort of building up to as well as the paint job, which we spoke about before, and I think the general feedback that I've had is to just get rid of the old marbling effect. As cool as it is, it's not great. It's difficult to do for me because I'm not a proper painter. I'm not doing it the correct way. I sort of did it my own way, but just to go with that sparkling grey on those dark patches. So that's what we're going to do. That simplifies that, and then the next thing I want to do is I'll get my dummy tank, my old tank that's got holes in it, and I want to fiberglass a new seat pan. And I'm not really sure how I want to go about doing that, other than my initial impression was I was just going to sort of cling film everything once it's all in its space. You know, everything's in its place, cling film around it, maybe put a bit of foam around the tank just to give a, I don't know, 5mm gap, just so it's not tight, and then just start laying some fiberglass. But what I can see happening with that is I'm just going to get like fiberglass strips all over everything. Now I can do my best to cover it all up. So I don't know, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I'm going to do a bit more thinking on that one. But I would like to make a proper seat pan, because all this time, since day one with that back end, all I've had really is just a piece of ply that I upholstered. It's never been fixed down, you know, not that the MOT man should know anything about that. So yeah, just something a bit more shapely that fits the bike a little bit better in all the gaps, and then I can get it properly upholstered and covered, you know. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to do that. and then edit this video up at the weekend. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe, hit the bell button, share it, do whatever you want, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.